the election results in Pakistan are trickling in, and they seem to be building up to a pretty spectacular climax of sorts. The results so far show the jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf-backed independent candidates to be leading in the seats tally. Now, out of the 144 seats announced so far, the jailed former Prime Minister Imran Khan's PTI-backed candidates are in the lead with about 57 seats. Now, the Nawaz Sharif-led PMLN has won 43 seats. The latest numbers are on your screens at the moment. While former Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto's PPP is trailing behind with 37 seats, the results of 121 seats are still awaited. Now, cricketer turned politician Imran Khan and the founding chairman of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf at this moment is behind bars and is also barred from contesting. The PTI candidates are running as independents after they were not allowed to use the party symbol, which is a cricket bat. The country's election oversight body has announced about 140 seats results after an hours-long delay. And this is a day after the vote that was marred by sporadic violence and a cell phone service shutdown. If no party wins an outright majority, the one with the biggest share of the seats can form a coalition government. But unofficial tallies by local media are showing independent candidates to be leading in most constituencies. The PTI has meanwhile already claimed that they have won the 2024 elections with an absolute landslide, while the PMLN has said that its Supremo Nawaz Sharif is all set to deliver what is being dubbed as a victory speech after the final results of the general elections, and that it is in contact with the independent candidates backed by Imran Khan's party. The PTI workers have also alleged vote tampering. They claimed that their candidate was winning the seat in Pasrur before alleged rigging took place. And now there are reports of tear gas shells being lobbed on PTI protesters, and about 30 PTI workers have also been booked in Islamabad for unlawful gathering. Now, all major political parties except the PMLN have claimed that the delay in the results will lead to rigging and tampering with the mandate. The videos of ballots stuffing and vandalism at some polling stations have of course been doing the rounds on social media. But to give us more information in terms of what is unfolding at this moment, we're being joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, who's joining us live on this broadcast. Anas, now this of course is a pretty crucial moment. Take us through what is happening at this moment, because there are several contrasting narratives that are coming forth. Now, independent candidates backed by the PTI appear to be in the clear lead, but the PMLN Supremo Nawaz Sharif is expected to make a victory speech. What are you picking up at your end?
Well, it's too early for him to make a victory speech at this point of time. His party is trailing behind the independents. The independents are clearly in a lead with 60 seats, his party being behind at 43. So it's a bit too early for him to call for a victory speech. That being said, I think Pakistan is definitely right now at crossroads. It would not be wrong to say. It's a really interesting composition of this very chart that's right behind me, Saleh. And 43 seats is what the PMLN has, 37 is what the Pakistan People's Party have, 60 is what the independents have. Now, it is essential to mention here that not all independents are independents, those who have been backed by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Some are independents who were historically PMLN and are contesting because the party gave the wrong choice of tickets, so they have not disclosed their affiliations. For instance, in the case of Danial Aziz from Shakargarh. Additionally, we also have some independents who have been backed by the Pakistan People's Party as well, and as per party officials, at least 25 of them are such which have been not just been backed but funded by the Pakistan People's Party as well. So it would be right now it's a quagmire of a situation, but as the day progresses, or rather as we progress towards the evening, once this chart gets more towards the greener side, the lesser the whites are, we will have much more clarity with regards to the situation that will develop, and eventually who will go on to form the government. That would be abundantly clear in some time or in some hours to come. Saleh.
Absolutely indeed. And another issue that a lot of people are asking about is the delay in the counting of votes and in the declaration of results. The opposition in Pakistan says that this is quite clearly, the clearest indicator that there is a rigging that is taking place in the manner in which the votes are being counted and tampering with the election results. What is the Pakistan Election Commission saying as to why there is a delay in the counting of votes and in the declaration of results?
Well, there were two reasons that were given for the delay. First being that of the network ban, and second being that of a technical glitch in the election management system that was developed specifically for the transmission of results. The Election Commission has yesterday stated in a late night statement that it was due to a technical glitch. It had warned the returning officers to start issuing the results in 30 minutes. That came about last night at about 2 a.m. And since then we saw that the results did indeed start trickling in. So at least since 2 a.m. onwards, we're 16 hours into that, 15 hours roughly into that warning being issued. This board has since then been starting to turn green. It's at now at 149 seats. It's just turned. It was previously at 147 seats. So the results are rapidly coming in. They're trickling in, and as I said, by the end of the day, or by the end of the evening rather, we would definitely be having a clearer picture as to who has attained a majority, even if it is a simple majority, or even who has the most number of votes in their balance to go on and do the alliance as well, in case if there is a need be to form a government. Saleh.
Very interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Anas Malik, for joining us and getting us all those details. We'll of course come back to you as more details emerge in the story, as more details, results of course in these elections will be declared, and also to tell us about the many permutations and combinations that are possible, and also what is playing out at this moment in the counting of votes at this moment in Pakistan. We're being joined by Mr. Imtiaz Gul, who's a senior journalist. He's joining us live from Islamabad. Now, Mr. Gul, let me in fact begin by asking you this question that I'm sure a lot of Pakistanis are asking themselves. The results that are out so far have thrown up very interesting situation. The PTI is claiming a landslide victory because it says that many of the independent candidates that it has backed are the ones who won or are already leading in many of these seats. But on the other hand, you look at what PMLN Supremo is likely to do. He's expected to make some kind of a victory speech, is what his party members are saying. So what do you read in this situation that is now playing out in the counting of votes in Pakistan?
Well, I think we still have more than 110 constituencies to be counted. As far as the National Assembly is concerned, it's a house of 266 directly contested seats, and we just have about 160 plus results. Now, as for the results themselves, a number of observers had been talking about whether it's an election or selection, whether it's a process that is being facilitated to help Nawaz Sharif become a four-time prime minister. So that has cast a very serious doubt on the integrity of the entire process, whether it's a selection or election. And also, if we look at a number of veterans, at least 20, who belong to the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf of Imran Khan, they have lost the election. And in most of the cases, these candidates or their agents are claiming that they have the statistical evidence through a form, it's called the Form 45, which is issued after the vote count at every polling station. Right. So there are a number of candidates who have been declared as losers who say that they have won with big margins, and now they'll be knocking at the doors of the courts and the election tribunals. So as for Nawaz Sharif, it's a big moment of reflection for him. This is a man who seems to be still living in the past, who has been whitewashed in the northern Abbottabad region, which was considered to be his stronghold. They have been wiped out from that region. So there's a lot of reflection to be done as far as Nawaz Sharif is concerned. And the victory speech, well, that's still way ahead. And the big question hanging over the conduct of the Election Commission is as to which way these constituencies will go, which we're still waiting for the results, because there are more than 100, and then a number of constituencies, independents, PTI-backed independents, seem to be in the lead.
You know, Mr. Gul, you made two important points, because this is what a lot of people in Pakistan would also be thinking about. Is this an election or is this a selection? And you also said that this is a moment for Nawaz Sharif to reflect upon. But the question that I want to ask you is, if we were to extrapolate the numbers that we've got at this moment, the independents seem to be in the lead. The PMLN is trailing by a pretty big margin, but it could emerge as the single largest party if you would not count the independents. In that case, do you think Nawaz Sharif would be invited to form the government? Is that what is likely to happen?
Well, I think there are still some bridges to cross, but I'm sure had it not been for very systematic pre-poll rigging, had it not been for a lot of mismanagement on the electoral day itself, today the results would have been different. The PTI-backed candidates would have really swept in a landslide way the result, just because all the surveys before the elections indicated a huge difference of 25 to 30 points between the PTI and the rest of the parties. So it was 70 to 80% favorable for the PTI. So these numbers do not really reflect the kind of sympathy, the kind of support that the PTI had enjoyed, particularly after three controversial convictions that Imran Khan got a few days ago. They also, I think, helped in increasing the support base of Imran Khan. So I think it's a lot of gerrymandering apparently has also gone in. So we would just hope that the rest of the process remains transparent, so that the integrity of the entire electoral exercise is not called in question.
Yes, the entire exercise of elections and counting is not called in question. But what do you think is resulting in this delay in the counting of votes and in the declaration of results? Because that is what is now giving rise to a lot of chatter and allegations by the opposition that probably the counting and the declaration of results is rigged in favor of the PMLN.
Well, this is a predominant perception. There are constituencies, urban constituencies, very well organized, where you would have results instantly compiled. But imagine the constituencies of Nawaz Sharif, where Nawaz Sharif has won in Lahore, its result was released 19 or 20 hours after the polling was closed. That raises big questions. Similarly, another stalwart of PMLN, Khaja Asif, his result has been announced almost 24 hours after the votes close. So these are big questions being cast on the conduct and the transparency of the entire exercise.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Imtiaz Gul, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.